Welcome to Minecraft 100 Days in a Western World. Today I will be playing with my friends, Boxboy TV, Creeper Kid, Cross, and one other person. We'll find out what his name is in a few seconds. I'll edit it over. Our goals today are to try to become the best cowboys in our Western world. And hopefully to get things I cannot mention here, but I'll put a subtitle over it. Let's get into it. Pre-recording Topaz. I forgot to mention something. This isn't a normal playthrough either. We have mods. We have a few different mods actually. We have one which adds new animals, one that adds a few different things for a Western theme, and a texture pack to make it more lively. That is all. Now into the video.
This just in. Join Topaz Discord to be in all the content like this. Just enter this and join. What are you waiting for, join?
Okay, so on day one, me and Boxboy started to get ready for our survival series, and we got ambushed by some pillagers. When this happened, we killed them and we got some resources. Afterwards, we went to go explore the mod a little bit more, but we took so much time, eventually it got dark. When it got dark, we tried to survive against other creatures and we got a little bit of wood. But then began the constant deaths. After me and Boxboy eventually leave the area full of mobs that we were trying not to die to, we finally find a place that we thought was safe until we realized that pillagers were there. And we have to kill them. And once we kill them, we finally get our first musket. Then rises day 2. And on that day, we find some cowboys, which are mostly safe until Boxboy hits one, which leads to him dying again. But then he finds a trader and we get more gun shells. Excuse me, musket shells. Anyways, after that I found out how much durability the guns really have, which is not a lot. And then leads to us having 1 durability on it left, and then me giving it to Boxboy, which leads to him breaking it. So I know I'm not trusting him with any again. After that, we find a hippo, which isn't so safe, which leads to Boxboy finding out late that it's unsafe. After me and Boxboy getting away from the hippo, we go over behind a mountain and we do a little bit more research on the animals in our world, which takes up the rest of the day. And while we do that, it takes up all the night, and I'm not showing the night because we died a lot. Just know you're not missing much. Anyways, the next day on day 3, we finally find a mesa and have to make a tough decision to kill a fennec fox so we can finally get a piece of wheat. And then we think over our decisions if it was the right idea. But after that, we finally find a plains biome with some trees. And then after a while, Boxboy finally finds a village, which has guards for some reason, which are on horses and also have cannons, and they're shooting at fish for some reason. I don't know why they're dumb. But anyways, we get into the village, we start looting said village, we watch the guards not doing their job, and then that concludes the end of that day, leading on to day 4. And as we get ready to go to sleep on the still day 3, we do the natural ritual of tapping your bed until you can finally fall asleep at the right time. And then leading on to day 4. Not much happens on day 4. Because on day 4, we mostly just killed the iron golem and craft a few parts for making guns. That's not really much that happened on that day, besides that. On day 5, some of the guards for the village killed Box Boy because he attacked them just like what he did with the cowboys earlier on, and Creeper Kid finally joins. After a while of it just being me and Box Boy. On day 6, I have a risky encounter with a jungle man when I try to explore a nearby jungle. But later on, that tells me to go to the forest where I see a moose and its baby, and I realize I should keep a distance. Then later on, we go to the desert so we can start building, and we stay there for the rest of that night. And I have to kill a lizard because I was informed by Box Boy and Creeper Kid that I should kill it. Chaotic. On good old day 7, we pack up all of our stuff and get ready to move across the river because there was a suggestion by Creeper Kid that we should try to do that and see if it was good to build. Which we decide it was. Which becomes our future base for the rest of the series. For now. Later on, Box Boy finds some gold, which will become our currency later on in the series. But besides that, we started building our bases. For the most part, it was mostly foundation, but it was a good start for the beginning. But anyways, after that, night slowly rolls in and we go to sleep. On day 8, something terrible starts. We start getting attacked by pillagers in a caravan or something. They start shooting us with cannons and they have muskets and stuff, so we die a lot. Which isn't great, but eventually we do kill them after a lot of problems. And later on we have to find out whose stuff is whose. A lot of raging happened. Thankfully you don't hear the audio. On day 9, I got more resources to try to help build up my house a little bit more, since it's still mostly just a floor, partial walls, and that's mostly it. And there was a problem because my inventory is full and I do not have my own chest. I helped my other friends, Box Boy and Creeper Kid, get themselves a chest, but I didn't get myself one in this moment. But later on, Box Boy finds himself a horse, which he decides to name Oreo, which actually ain't a bad name. And because Oreo was across the river, that meant that we had to build a bridge, which we were going to do originally, but we had to speed up the process because of the fact that the horse needed to get over before night fell, which we got it over back to the base, and then we fell asleep for the next day. Oh wait, but this just in, I forgot something. A lot of crazy stuff happened that night, and we weren't able to sleep because of all the mobs near our base. With all the things trying to kill us in the series, that kind of told us how we kind of might need defenses near our base if we even want to survive. And maybe some torches. But we didn't do that till, I think, day 13? Nope. Later we trap Oreo in a hole so he won't try to leave because we don't need him leaving because he's our only current horse. Which would be a bad thing if we lost him. Later on, I tried to go over to another jungle we had near us, so I could try to get some cocoa beans so I could start a cocoa bean farm. But I found out the hard way that's not that safe, because a jungle man appeared and blew me up. But if you think I'll learn my lesson from that encounter, you'd be terribly wrong, and so would I. Oy. Yep, I died to a terrible mistake leading the jungle man right to us, but thankfully he didn't come over the river. I really should be paying more attention to these things. Later on, I build up my house a little bit more and I find out that Creeper Kid left a little while ago. So it's just me and Box Boy for the rest of this playthrough of this day, since it took several different days to work on this. video. So, I don't know, maybe think about subscribing so you can see more content like this. On day 11, we start to get our act together by getting a few more resources to start building our houses, and I finally bring over trees so we can grow stuff at our base. And I finally start getting a mine going because the day prior to this, since I forgot to mention it, Boxboy lost all of his items, including his gold, which is a minor setback, but we should be able to fix that soon. On day 12, we do a few things. For one, we get Oreo, Boxboy's horse, a fence post so we can actually keep him at the base, and we named a rattlesnake because he keeps sticking around and he's sleeping on Creeper Kid's bed. We named him Maraca, and since he's mostly sticking around, he might become our pet later on. And then, later on, we also finally get the mine dug deeper in, and we finally get more resources like stone and the needed stuff like torches, which is nice for the long run. Also, since earlier on we crafted a gun table, we're able to craft parts for guns, and later on craft weapons that we can actually battle the pillagers with, and we won't have problems anymore. But that'll come in later. So, a problem arises. Well, not that big of a deal. We find some pillagers and I kill them. And I get a banner which I put up so I'll be able to show everyone that we killed pillagers that tried to come into our area, hoping that maybe that'd keep the caravans out. Of course, that probably didn't work, and it probably just made them madder, but I tried my best. Anyways, the next part of the day, we go mining. We mine mostly for a little bit of stone, and then we go to sleep and go into the next day, which is day 14. On this day, we find Maraca decided he wanted to move to a different area for a little bit, which I don't blame him for doing. He's been sleeping on that bed for a few days, which doesn't actually sound too indifferent for a snake, but yeah. Also, we find another trader, which apparently had a few muskets and dynamite, which I surely took the musket, and I accidentally got dynamite instead of ammo, but Boxboy didn't mind because dynamite is fun. But later on, I worked on my base a little bit, and Boxboy didn't have to because his base, as you've seen, has already been built, which I did not mention. But later on, I decided I'd put Maraca in Boxboy's house so we wouldn't lose him. Of course, Boxboy probably didn't care, but he did have now a roommate. And later on, he'd have a little bit of a problem with us trying to be a roommate in his house as well. We mine for resources, getting stuff in the mine, and that's how we're going to end this part 1 of possibly part 9, if I did the math right, series for this 100-day series. If you'd like to see more, please, well, you're gonna have to wait till the next episode, but I'll probably make other videos until then. But until then, stick around and find out how part 2 goes. Thank you for watching.